Chapter 3.4, and this is on our next quiz too. This is the last section that's on our quiz. So you have to know two things for today. The two things you have to know today, you have to know what a system of equations is, which I'll tell you right now. And then you have to know what solutions are, and you have to know how to find a solution by graphing. Okay? Alex, just a while ago, I made a big deal about what solutions are. They're just values that make a statement true, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you're talking about a system of equations, it's more than one equation. A system of equations is more than one equation. So let me give you an example. X plus 3y equals 11 and x minus 5y equals negative 13. It's two equations, but they work together.
It just makes it more complicated.
No, it's different. It is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
So like a real life example, like one of the most famous is like the population of say a predator like coyotes and a population of rabbits. And they rely on each other. If there's no coyotes, then the rabbits will eat all their food and die. Like really, they will eat themselves until they're dead. They will eat all of their food and then they will die. So you need a balance. You need to have both. Whereas if there's no rabbits, then of course the coyotes are going to die because they can't eat. They need to eat some rabbits or some other meat. They can live on like little bit things here and there, like berries and stuff, but they're going to die. So you could have a situation where you have two different things and they're related, and that would be a system of equations. So it's not just more complicated. It is more complicated because you're dealing with more than one thing, but it's not just to make life more complicated.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So a solution to a system, it's going to be a coordinate like x comma y, right? That is a solution to both equations. I'm running out of room there.
Oh, I remember this.
Of course you do. I taught you. Like 7 years ago.
I'm not that old.
Oh, I am. I bet it was that long ago, Alex.
It's been 6.
6 years. You're old, Alex. Okay, Alex, so check this out. This x, y, that's just numbers, right? X goes first, y goes second. So in order to be a solution for both equations, that means like you would be able to plug in numbers for both of these and it would work. So I don't know the solution to the system, but I know the solution to the first equation. Let's call this one A. I'm just looking at it and I think that 2 comma 3 is a solution. Because if I put a 2 there and a 3 there, that's 2 plus 3 times 3. So that is 11.
Oh my gosh.
So that's an answer, right? But let's see if it's a solution for the whole. Oh, it is a solution for the whole thing.
Get out.
Check washa. Washa. If I put a 2 here and a 3 there, that's 2 minus 5 times 3. It's 2 minus 15.
Dang.
Yeah, it is a solution. So I got lucky. I wasn't trying to show you how to find a solution. I was just going to kind of describe how to check it.
Check it.
So actually, that's the first part of your homework today, and the first thing that we're going to learn about these is what are solutions. So what's going to happen is you're going to be given a system like this. You're going to be given a system like that, right? And it's going to ask you a question. The question is going to ask, is 2, 3 a solution to the system? That's the question it's going to ask. I'm not going to tell you how to answer it, but I'm going to tell you how you're going to know. You're going to hate me more. More.
Why?
Because I'm not going to give you a step. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you like the idea, and you're going to figure out how to do it. Because it's not that hard. You can figure it out. I promise.
Sorry if I can, I'm sorry.
You can. No, you can't. Watch. Check it out. I know you already hate me, Sam. It's okay. I'm teasing you. Okay, Sam. So check this out. You have your answer is either yes or no, right? So your answer is yes if 2, 3 makes both equations true.
So we have a 50-50 chance we
Well, you have to show work. Okay? If it makes both of these true, so you plug in a 2 and a 3 and it's true for both, then the answer is yes. Your answer is no. The answer is no if it's false for either one. So like, if you're, so Eminem, let's say you're going to check, right? If 2, 3 doesn't work for the first one, you don't even need to check the second one. Does that make sense?
Well, what if it does and the other one doesn't?
But it doesn't matter, because the only way it could be yes is if it's true for both. So if one of them fails, then the answer is no.
So if the first one fails, you're done.
You're done. Yeah.
I already like this stuff.
Oh yeah. It's the bomb.
So if it does work, then we have to check the other one.
If the first one works, check the second one. If that works, your answer is yes. If it doesn't work, your answer is no.
No. I like this.
You got this, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to try one?
Yeah.
Let's try one. Let's try this one.
Is it the same?
Yeah, let's do this right here. Okay, let's do a different one. Okay. I'm glad you said that.
I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. X plus Y equals 4. And, Y equals 3X. So that's our system, right? And we want to see if 1, 3 is a solution. There.
Is 1, 3 is a solution?
Yeah. I want you to see if 1, 3 is a solution. So it shouldn't take very long. We'll just do 2 minutes.
You wrote is.
It is right. Wait, no, hold up.
Is 1, 3 is a solution. Wait, look, a squirrel. I'm sorry, what did you say? I wrote it twice? Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna love
It
if
is.
I guys were.
It is. It works.
Nada.
Jackie, you're pushing it.
He didn't. You scared me. I literally thought you were gonna go down.
See, that's how it was. I'll do it again quick.
It is.
Yeah?
Oh, that would have been.
It works for both?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so you plugged in, so you took the 1 and you put it wherever the X was?
Yeah.
Put the Y wherever the Y was? 1 plus 3 is 4. That's true for sure, right? But then here's where you might mix it up. Jackie, here's where you might get in trouble. Check this out, Jackie. The Y in this goes first, but Y is the second number. The temptation is always just to put the first number where the first letter is and the second number where the second letter is, but that's not true. That's not right. X goes first in the parentheses, and wherever the X is, that's where it fits. So the 1 goes there, and the 3 goes there. So 3 does equal 3 times 1. That's true. Yeah. So we are G-double-O-D. Good.
No, he's just making the little coordinates is X and the Y is the other. Okay.
What's your question, Priscilla?
Check that.
Please tell us, because I know.
Honestly, I'm just lost.
I don't
You're
even
lost.
either. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you gave me that on a test, like I would leave it blank.
Here's how you do it.
That's what it is.
That's how you do it. I'm not going to show you the steps. I described the steps, but I'm not going to show you. You know why?
Why?
Because I showed you, I believe, Jackie, I showed you too many steps last time, and that's why you guys are having a hard time understanding this.
Oh.
I showed you too many steps last time. I think, because you know what this is. You know what this means. Jackie, if you need to see the steps, then you're not understanding what you're doing. Because these steps are not too bad. Okay. All right. One last thing we have to do today. You ready? Solve the system by graphing. Oh, Jackie, listen, I want you to understand this, though. I'm not going to leave you out to dry. When we come back to class next time, and you have homework questions because you're going to try problems, I will do them on the board then. But I'm not going to do them right now. Because all you're going to do is like follow what it looks like, but you won't understand why you're doing that. That's the thing you have to figure out. And I believe you can do it. Don't let me down. You're my favorite student. But no pressure. Priscilla, don't worry. You're my favorite student. I just told her that to make her feel good. Okay. Don't worry, Rachel. You know the truth. All right. Alex is back there going, you guys are all suckers. I know I'm the favorite. Okay, Alex, we're going to solve a system by graphing. So, like, let's say we had this system right here. You see? Let's say that's our system. Okay, I want to see if I can get you guys to understand how this works also really well. Before we do it, we're going to do this one together, like steps and everything. But before we do it, I'm thinking we can understand what we're going to do. And then by the time I do it, you're going to like, Mr. Brown, stop it. I already know how, even before I do. So, Eminem, pregunta for you.
Yes.
What's a graph?
It's like a chart that shows the solutions.
It's a picture of all the solutions, right? Picture of
Always forget it.
all answers or all solutions, right?
Oh my gosh, that's easy.
Right? You follow me, right? You got a couple ideas we're going to string together here. So we have a couple ideas we're going to pull all together so you can understand what we're going to do before we do it. Okay? So a graph is a picture of all the answers. So when you graph this line right here, right? It's going to be some random line like that, right? And every single place on that line will be an answer. Like you're going to have a coordinate plane, right? And when you graph this first line, everywhere on that line is going to be an answer to that equation. And the answer to the system is the answer that they share. So when you graph this equation, it's going to be another line kind of like this. Oh, that pen's dead. It's going to be another line kind of like that, right? That right there is going to be the point that's the answer to both. Where they cross, that's the point they share. And the point is the answer. This is the point that would be an answer to both equations.
What's that called?
What's what called?
That little point right there.
That's the answer.
That's the answer?
Well, because listen, watch. This point, it's on the blue line, right?
Yeah.
And it's also on the green line.
Oh.
These are two different equations, but it's a system. And the thing we just learned is that the answer is true for both.
Oh, so if like one's over here and one's over there, it just doesn't go?
What? Wait.
What?
Well, sometimes lines don't cross.
Yeah.
Right,
But
like-
if it doesn't, that's what I think.
Like
Is the point supposed to be at 0, 0 or?
no. So like if we had two lines like this and they were parallel,
Uh-huh.
there would be no solution because they don't cross. Because like this would be line number 1 right here, right?
Yeah.
And all of its solutions are on that line. And this would be line number 2 and all of its solutions are on this line. But the answer for both equations is where they share a point and they are never going to cross. So it's really sad they have so much in common but they'll never meet.
So far, it's so close.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
It's so sad, parallel lines. All right, Sam. So here's what we're going to do. Sam, I'm going to draw this by hand. I'm going to try to draw it accurately. Graph paper here would be really helpful.
But
It would be very helpful for here.
Don't you have a ruler?
Well, even then, I'm not going to measure everything. So I'm just going to draw it by hand, by line. You see those two equations right there?
yeah.
Do you see the way they're written? The easy way to graph them
Is there?
is by finding the intercepts.
No.
Nah, I'm good. We got it. Thank you, though. But the easy way to graph these is by finding the intercepts. And if you forgot how to do that, that's one reason why this section is really good, because it makes you study stuff that you forgot. Or maybe you never really learned it. We're going to graph both of these by the intercepts, because it's easy. Now, for the first one, right? Oh, you know, for the x-intercept, y always equals 0, right? So if I put a 0 for the y, do you see that x equals 6? If y is equal to 0, then it's x plus 0 equals 6. So x has to be 6. 6. Yeah? Okay. Now, for the y, x is 0. So if x is 0, y is 6. It says it right there, y is 6. So, 6 for x, 6 for y.
Hold on, take it easy.
Take it easy.
Do we only pick one equation?
You do them one at a time.
Or one at a time?
Okay.
Yeah, you are going to do them both. I was just getting ready to mention that. I'm glad you asked, Alex. The mistake, the rookie mistake is you find points for this equation and you find points for that equation, but you never connect the dots. And then you look at your graph and you're like, where do the lines go? Right. So we connect the dots. So this is our first equation. Now I'm going to write the equation beside it so I don't mix it up. So this equation was x plus y equals 6.
Alright.
I'm going to do this one the same way. The x-intercept is going to be 2. Now be careful for the y-intercept because you see it's a negative y.
Would be negative.
Negative 2. Those are the x and y intercepts. So 2 y lo negativo 2. Conecta los puntos. The important letter in that word, I know I told you before. And the solution. It looks like 4 for x and 2 for y, but I have it drawn by hand. So I'm not very confident. I think my answer is 4, 2. Hey Priscilla, how can I check? I could with decimals, but I got a better way. You ready? You see this is x and that's y, right? X plus y equals 6. That's true. And that's x minus y equals 2. So 4 minus 2 equals 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. This is true for both. That's the answer. Priscilla, do you understand how to do the other questions now too? Even though I didn't write it out for you? That's why you're my favorite student.
You know why it's negative?
The roof is not my son, but I will raise it. Eminem. The thing about this that gets tricky, okay, is the graphing the equations. Because sometimes they're written like y equals mx plus b. And so then you're going to want to do it one way. Sometimes they're written like this, but it's not easy to find the intercepts. You have to be good at graphing to be able to do these well. Questions, Sam? No? Well then, yeah, you just plot the y-intercept and you count your slope and you're done. Yeah.